Now we're going to have a look at the track assistant options. Now we're going to do this on our vocal, which we've kind of ignored so far. So what I'm going to do is load up a Mothership Neutron 3, so the main plugin. And if I come to this mix assistant option here, we have two options. So we have balance. We've already done that at the beginning, if you remember. And the other option is track enhance. And that's going to allow us to create a custom preset in Neutron 3 to allow us to mix our vocal. Now we can choose to have Neutron 3 auto detect the instrument, or we can also choose from a list here, but I'm going to leave it on auto detect. Now, in terms of style, I'm going to put it to balanced, and intensity, let's go for medium. That's fine. I'll click next, and it's going to ask me to play some of the vocals. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and play it so you can hear the vocal.
Hey, you pass me by. I keep asking myself why I never say hello. You're walking along, girl, you got no grace. Sometimes I don't even.
Okay, so it's now analysed the vocal and created a preset. So what it's basically done is set the sculptor target that we looked at in the last video. So it's made that a vocal target. It's also learnt the EQ frequencies that are of interest to the sound, crossover frequencies for the compressor and the exciter, thresholds as well for the compressor. It's created potentially dynamic nodes in the EQ, and it's also set the exciter driver mounts, and finally adjusted the compressor response time. So basically it's tried to align the modules in a way that they're going to respond effectively to the sound that we're putting through it. So I'm going to say accept. Now let's have a listen to what it's done.
Say hello. You're walking along, girl, you got no grace. Sometimes I don't even think you know where you wanna go. Say hello. Say hello.
Okay, so you can see it's brought the vocal out a lot. It's much brighter, less muddy. It's maybe a little bit too much though, and not quite right for the mix. But this is really just meant as a starting point, and we can go ahead and tailor this to be exactly how we want it to be. So let's kind of dial down the sculptor effect a little bit.
Say hello.
And let's actually just take off the modules and bring them in one by one so we can hear what's doing what.
Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello.
I put that back in because that was actually doing good stuff.
Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello.
So it's the exciter module which is adding all that brightness. Now we could actually just dial it in using the mix control.
Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. You're walking along, girl, you got no grace. Sometimes I don't even think you know where you wanna go. But someday we could cross each other's path. Someday I don't know what I want to say, but someday I guess I'll just go crazy until that day.
So it's really lifting the vocal up in the mix, bringing it out of the speakers. I'm going to just dial this down a little bit further. And bring down this high end boost as well.
This path someday I might know what it's all about. Someday
It's over enhancing the clarity as well because it's kind of pushing the vocal away from the mid-range somehow. I guess it's this high boost here and the low boost. It's allowing the vocal to extend up and down in the speakers.
I guess I'll just go crazy, crazy and someday, and somewhere when you fall.
Just turning down the vocal overall. Okay, just tried a little in and out there. So let's go on to the harmony vocals. Let's find where they come in. Create a little loop around this section. And let's try Mix Assistant on here as well. So track enhance. Let's make the intensity low. So the intensity is the amount of processing that's going to be done by the track assistant. So this is going to be a low amount of processing to try and achieve what we're trying to achieve. So let's go for style. We'll do balanced again. We'll leave it on auto detect. So it's really brought those harmonies out. Let's just try and adjust the gain so it's not as loud. Okay, let's take both the lead vocal and the harmony vocal and let's bring those track assistants in and out.
I guess I'll just go crazy, crazy in someday, in some way, when you fall.
It's actually not really a fair test because I've changed the output level. So let's just return that to where it was and do that again. You can never trust your ear to be able to allow for volume differences.
I guess I'll just go crazy, crazy in someday. I guess
Let's just get to that bit where it really comes in. So it just slightly raises the vocals up, brings them out a little bit. I think overall the vocals are still too loud, so I'm going to bring them down on the Logic fader so we can still bring this in and out to A and B. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it's allowed the vocals to really sit out in front of the mix. So that's the track assistant. So we can use that on all the different sounds in the mix that we want to. We can either choose auto detect to have Neutron 3 detect the sound itself, or we can use one of the presets from the list the track assistant gives us. Okay, so now we've used track assistant to bring the vocals out of the mix. In the next video, we're going to have a look at solving any frequency conflicts between sounds using the masking meter. Thanks for watching.